I'll be recording the session because today, like, we are having a final culmination of this program, and this program was suggested by the International Union of Conservation of Nature (IUCN) during the year 2019 to me. So they wanted me to do something with fashion design and environmental awareness and come up with a project that connects both of them. So in India, like, there hasn't been any such program before that connected fashion design directly with environmental awareness programs. So we designed this program, and this action plan was actually designed by myself and like one of our a wonderful colleague, like the secretary of WildRoots, Sutirtha Lahiri. So Sutirtha is unable to join today. Like, he has some work in Minnesota because he's doing his PhD in wildlife biology from University of Minnesota at this moment. So he's a bit busy today. Otherwise, he would have joined. So he's like, where we both have designed this project during the year 2019, and that's how our cohort 1 went. But from the cohort 1, like, most interestingly, like, we had picked up 3 students, like Simran, Bhavya, Soni, and Ankita, to be the mentors for the cohort 2. So during cohort 1, like, I was primarily organizing the programs and the briefing sessions, the workshops and everything. So cohort 2 was totally given into the hands of the students because IUCN wanted us to make it much more student-centric. And these people have done a fantastic job. And 13 people have, there were many people who joined the program. And just as it happens, like these creative programs, like, not everyone is able to complete the entire journey. Like, it has always been like that. You'll never find that like 100% of the students will be able to complete. So incidentally, what happened was we did a wonderful program. And Bhavya, are you there? Have you reached? Ankita, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
So let's hear from the mentors first. So Bhavya is reaching home, and I think Simran hasn't joined yet. So let's hear from the mentors first, and then, like, I'll go ahead with today's program. Over to you, Ankita.
Thank you, sir. So this was really like a good journey. Like, first, like, when sir called us and when he was like, okay, will you be able to mentor the students? We are going for another cohort. Like, that actually amazed me, and I was excited but scared at the same time because that was the first time I would be like mentoring because it's always been I am the student. So the best thing about this whole cohort was, like, while mentoring, it was like I was learning from them too. So it was an amazing experience. Like, especially with my team, I enjoyed a lot. And there were challenges, of course, like everyone has their colleges and assignments, but that drive to do this cohort, I saw that in every single person who I worked with. And that actually gave me another, a boost to, okay, like, take my time out and work along with them. So this was like these, I don't know, six months. It was good. It's really good. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity.
In fact, it's been a fantastic journey for us as well. And like, after the completion of 2 sessions and 2 cohorts of this program, like, what we have realized is we haven't completed a program, just a program. Like, we've actually given the responsibilities in the hands of these designers. So that is something like which we wanted to induce. So, like, along with completing a program and a cohort and a project, like, you get to understand, like, how you can be a part of this, like, global conservation and environmental protection movement, and using whatever you are doing right now, like, you can contribute, and wherever you are in future, like, even, like, I don't know, like, where you people are going to be, like, in which studios you are going to be working or independent business you are going to be running, but there is some sense of responsibility that we wanted to induce in your minds, using which, like, you now know that you can do a lot for the environment. So I'll just play a very short shortreel. Bhavya, have you reached home? Or are you still on the move? I'll just play the combined showreel that we have made. We've just taken snippets of some projects, and you have seen it before, but let me just officially play it as a part of this program. Just give me a moment. I'll just share my screen. Are you able to see it? Is the screen visible?
Not yet. We see a screen, but it's blank. It's black. Yes, sir. Now it's visible. Thank you. That was a small snippet of this entire cohort 2. We've just taken bits and pieces of everyone's work, right? Some of the concept art stage, and we followed the entire journey, like beginning right from like understanding about the global environmental crisis, and then going into a bit of research, and then doing a bit of study as well. So I would request one of the cohort members to just give us an overview about what did you felt about the entire journey, like how did you start? Aishwarya, can you do that? Aishwarya, Samyukta, anyone?
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Aishwarya, and I'm from NIF Shillong. And the moment I found out I was going to do this internship, I was very excited because nature has always inspired me, and this opportunity came to us at a time where we had very little means to be creative apart from our just everyday academic schedule. So to do this was just very exciting to me back then, and the over the course of the 6 months, we learned so much, doing all of those Zoom sessions and brainstorming sessions, making sure that all of us are very creative and making sure that we come up with our best work. It was an incredible experience, and I'm sure our works will reflect that. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity that Sir gave us. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. And Samyukta, would you like to add anything to it?
Yes, sir. So very good evening to one and all present here. I'm Samyukta from NIF Shillong. So first, I would like to thank WildRoots for providing me this opportunity to bring out my thoughts through design itself. I've always loved nature, and it was a good opportunity for me to pay back to nature. And this cohort and the whole process has actually taught me a lot. It helped me to contribute something back to nature, and through my sustainable design actually. And I worked on the topic how oil spills affected marine life. And when I started to research, I could see how we have created a lot of trouble to the environment, and it didn't only stop in the marine life, it also affected us indirectly. And all these sufferings made me think how we pollute the environment in such a bad way. And with that, I started thinking to work only in sustainable way. Now I'm working all my projects, mostly I'm using sustainable products, and I think of the effects that it will create in the future. So that's how it helped me. This whole cohort had been one wonderful section. Thank you for that, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for sharing your experience. And in fact, since I was telling you that we have actually given you a responsibility. Now that you know that what is happening to this environment and how the fashion industry is also having a great impact on this environment worldwide. So now we know how we can form a task force, no matter wherever we are and no matter wherever we are going to be, and do something for this environment, right? I'll have today we have selected 6 portfolio videos to just have a look at it. So the reviews were done by the personnel from IUCN CEC, the Commission for Education and Communication. So the entire team has sent their commendations, and all the signatures came on the certificates and the letters. So we are very happy that the chairman of the IUCN CEC, he had given his valuable signature on the certificate. So that means a lot. That actually upscales the certification that we are getting, you all are getting from WildRoots, right? So wherever you are going to be, and in future, if you go somewhere and present this certificate as a part of your CV, it's going to be a good value addition. That's what we wanted, how to upscale the certifications. So he had been a fantastic, Sean Saudi, he is the chair. So Sean would like to connect with you all during the month of February. He's currently down with COVID. I'm really sorry for that. And he would like to connect with you all during the month of February, when we touch base again, and discuss some global opportunities where you people can participate. Because we are planning some case studies involving the fashion for environmental awareness. And it's going to be a good thing that I can involve all of you in that case study. So there are more opportunities which are coming. It doesn't end with only this commendation ceremony and certificates. So we have with us some of the new executive members of WildRoots. We have taken them after a long journey, after 3 to 4 years of long journey. They're from Kolkata. Anulekha is there, Anushka is there, right? OMG is also here. And I think Lekhna was also there. No, Lekhna has logged out. So they are here because they know the journey that we've had so far. And Anulekha or Anushka, anyone would like to give us a very small overview about how you became an executive member, student executive member of WildRoots organization. Anyone?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I have been it is a great opportunity that I got from my college, that I got to be a part of WildRoots. So we started to be participating in the WildRoots events from my graduation first year only. So before I joined, I had an idea that doing something for nature. Because I have always enjoyed I have always enjoyed time with nature. So choosing WildRoots was just one opportunity that okay, anything that was related to nature, something that I will be contributing. But when I joined and the events, the trips we made, all these small experiences clubbed up, and I learned so many things through WildRoots. So we spent 3 years going on many conservation awareness. We went to trips and we did surveys. All these have given me a viewpoint to me. So for that, I'm thankful to WildRoots, and since I am determined and I'm dedicated to be still continue to contribute and look forward to much more things, bigger things that I can work for WildRoots. So I have joined to be a member here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And what I'm going to do is I'll play the first video of the day. So this is actually a video about the problem with fast fashion. Right, it comes from Teen Vogue, and this is a video which IUCN wanted me to share with you all, because this is something which is a very critical issue which we are facing with the fashion industry at this moment. And I think fast fashion is something which we have to observe and look at, when we think about how it's having an impact on the environment. I'll just play the video. Just give me a moment. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Love to shop, and these days the newest styles and clothes are cheaper than ever. You can literally snag a dress for $4, which is basically the price of a vanilla latte. But buying cheap comes at a high cost. And I know, I hear you. You're like, Wembley, what does that actually mean? And that basically means that fast fashion just works on exploitative labor conditions and is destroying the environment. Over the last 2 centuries, as the world has changed, our relationship to clothes has dramatically changed too. From an era where clothing was bespoke or tailor-made for each individual, to the ready-to-wear era where pre-made clothing came in standardized sizing, and the current era of fast fashion. The fashion industry today looks nothing like it did in the past. And of course, not all change is good. Obscene amount of clothes, stealing independent designers' ideas, low wages, unsafe conditions and harassment, factory workers sewing pleats to help in their clothing. Yikes. But before we get into all of that, what exactly is fast fashion? You're right if you think it sounds like fast food. It's cheap, quick, and of questionable quality. Back to the topic at hand. If fast fashion isn't bespoke and isn't ready to wear, then what is it? To answer that question, we need to travel to a small village in Galicia, Spain called La Coruña. In 1963, a man named Amancio Ortega Gaona launched a company which would go on to become the biggest fashion retailer on earth. That company is now known as Zara Inditex. You may recognize its most famous holding, Zara. Ortega and Zara pioneered the fast fashion model. There are 4 major points. First, vertical integration. That's just a fancy way of saying the company does it all in-house, from design and manufacturing and selling clothes. This helps streamline costs and optimize the production process. Fast fashion is all about feedback. Designers receive data on what sells and what doesn't as often as daily. They often conduct field research on what's trending, and it's pretty much by just going out and seeing what people are wearing on the street. Onto a speedier design to retail cycle. In fast fashion, the emphasis is on fast. The time it takes to make clothing is now a fraction of what it once was. For Zara, which leads the industry, it just takes 5 weeks. Instead of fixed seasonal collections, fast fashion outlets generate the lion's share of profits through designs produced in season. Ready-to-wear collections are made and debuted 1 full season ahead of time. Finally, fast fashion is dependent on cheap labor, and those savings are passed on to the customer. Fashion has always run on people power more than anything else. Currently, 1 in 6 humans on Earth works in the fashion industry. It's massive, and for the most part, those humans live in developing countries. But cheap labor comes at a high cost. With globalization, the world's economies became increasingly linked. The promise of fast fashion was trendy clothes at a low cost, therefore democratizing fashion, in the words of Amancio Ortega. At the same time, companies like Forever 21 and H&M would provide jobs to workers in the developing world. It didn't work out exactly like that. Fast fashion companies have come under fire for exploiting workers. This has meant everything from child labor to forcing workers to handle dangerous chemicals and being grossly underpaid for long hours without a break. In 2013, a preventable structural failing caused a building in Bangladesh to collapse, killing more than 1,100 garment workers who were trapped inside and injuring more than 2,500. The Rana Plaza disaster was the deadliest garment factory accident in history. And while we now spend less than 3% of our annual income on clothing, compared to about 10% in the 50s, we have an absurd amount of clothing because fast fashion means that clothing is disposable. Fashion is also terrible for the environment. Long story short, more clothes made much more quickly for a fraction of the cost means a glut of cheap clothing piling up in our landfills. To get a sense of the sheer volume of clothing we're talking about here, let's do a quick rundown of fast fashion's environmental impact by the numbers. 150 billion, the number of new garments produced each year. That's more than 20 garments per person on Earth. 2.5 billion, the number of pounds of fabric waste removed from the waste stream, according to the Council for Textile Recycling. 60, the percent by which the amount of clothing we own has increased between 2000 to 2014, according to Greenpeace. But we keep clothes for half as long as we did just 15 years ago, leading to a massive amount of waste. 10, the percent of the global carbon footprint in the fashion industry is responsible for. There is no question that fashion is contributing to the effects of climate change. While clothing is recyclable, the amount of clothing produced has far outstripped our capacity to recycle it. It's gotten so bad that in April, China, which was previously a top destination for recycled textiles, has officially banned them. And in North America, the city of Markham, Ontario in Canada is the first municipality to ban textile waste from landfills. But wait, it gets even worse. Fashion is the second biggest polluter of clean water on the planet. Toxic chemicals used to dye and treat clothing have been linked to miscarriages, birth defects, and cancer. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth it?
So that was yet like another enlightening video. Like, in fact, during the course of our 2 cohorts, like we've seen many videos, like very interesting videos, like from where like we've gathered a lot of information, right? Tanushri, like you're trying to join from some other, most probably like you are trying to join with some other name, right? And I'm really sorry, like, no, actually, like we have a security system installed over here. It won't let you join until unless you're joining with your own name. Like we fed it into the system. I'm really sorry for that. Right? Could you please rename the profile from where you're trying to join to your name and then try to join again? Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll try.
Simran, are you there? Simran, Bhavya, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay, let's move into the first showcase of today, right? This would give us an idea about the kind of portfolios like the students have made. Like what were the different stages, right? So here comes the first video.
Hello everyone, I am Tanushri Paramita Mitra, a student from NIFT Shillong, which is also known as National Institute of Fashion Technology. So here I am currently doing my 3rd year, and when I got to know about this project from WildRoots India, I got really excited because when I got to know it was a nature-based program. So finally I can work with nature, because oftentimes I do take a lot of inspiration from nature. So here I can actually make something as a contribution to nature. So it was really exciting and an opportunity to work with my thoughts and ideas. So here, when I talk about WildRoots India, I took the project word as plastic, because the day how I start and the day how it ends with plastic is unbelievable. Like, God knows how many times you use plastic in your daily life, right? From starting to the day, the cup of the coffee you're putting in, and the biscuit you're just opening the wrappings, all of them are made of plastic, isn't it? So I believe that there are numerous things that is affecting in a way of plastics and other forms of plastics in nature. So let's talk about it in the slides.
So before going to the slides, let me tell you what is a plastic waste, since this is my topic I'm working on. It is the accumulation of plastic objects such as the plastic bottles, cutleries, bags, and there are so many things which we use made of plastic, right? And which are already been used and throwing away in our daily life. But what actually happens when you throw away? So let's just say a person who just had a packet of chips on a beach and trying to dispose the packet by the sort of dustbin. But there was no such space to, put it up. But he thought of throwing it on the beach and he left it. But the plastic later on crawled down towards the sea and it's getting polluted. Likewise, thousands of plastic waste are crawling down in the water and it's getting so much polluted that whichever marine creature is going to drink that water, that living being will die because of plastic components inside. I'm not talking about those creatures who lives inside the water, but albatross. As you can see in the visuals, it drinks water from the sea and it is affecting their respiratory system. So they can't actually breathe properly because the plastic is stuck inside the body and they're dying. And that's how thousands of creatures like albatross and other sea creatures are dying. Well, this is scary. And yes, this is our new plastic world, where you can just not only limit it to roads or alleys, but also putting huge impact on marine. It is also putting a huge impact in a sea life and its ecosystem. So it's very disturbing to see that here what is actually happening just because of our ignorance, and soon the world can be swallowed by the plastic if we don't take much action. So next is my mind map. Here I try to show how plastic pollution is affecting not only the roads or alleys, but also the sea creatures and its ecosystem. So I've divided the parts into causes, effects, and solutions. Here we can see that the actually cause the plastic pollution is one of the main reasons is the slow decomposition. Since it takes a long time to decompose, the surroundings get really polluted other than the biodegradable materials. There are other many key reasons why they are affecting the sea life, sea birds, and creatures like albatross as well. Apart from the recycle, reuse, and reduce, for solution, I thought of awareing people, letting them know through our daily use products. This is a kind of 3-in-1 board, which is a combination of mood, color, and inspiration board, emphasizing how the plastic is becoming our daily bread. And yeah, it is much affecting when we are not just giving much attention to the sea lives and they are losing their lives because of our ignorance. Next is the products that I plan to work on. These are the products, the flowers, earrings, and the coaster. So the concept behind will be to plan to emphasize the positivity, and the design should be minimalistic, unique, essence of nature, and could be make of albatross if I can show them up in a very positive way. So the exploration on bus, these are some of my exploration that I did before coming up to the final product sketch, which will emphasize how happily Albatross flying with a bunch of flower on his back and welcoming human beings that understanding the dilemma. Next is this design will be inspired of geometrical shape, abstract forms of triangle shapes to give an interesting look. So here I thought of plastic straws, wire materials like here, and thin rods like spokes, which we have already seen on the cycle, right? So these are the materials I thought for using and making this product. Next is the exploration on earrings. So according to human psychology, that we tend to look at humans' face while having a conversation, right? So what happened is people will also notice these kind of earpieces and they will get to know more about their struggle, the albatross struggle from avoiding their plastic from their life. The materials here I've chosen are paper pulp, plastic waste, golden wire, and gold plate. So later on, I tried the exploration of side and the top view of the coaster. This is my third product. So here, I try to portray a short story about the albatross is getting away from the plastic and flying towards the sunlight, emphasizing happiness. As you can see, the borders, there is the story I am trying to emphasize it. And on the top of there is a short message that the more you litter, you drink bitter. A message to awake people to get rid of plastic as much as possible. Next is the material that I've chosen are paper pulp, paperboard, and wood to give an organic look. So yes, these are the materials that I've chosen. Next is the prototype design. So the prototype design, I've taken the coaster and this is the design which I made, and I've chosen the prominent view to make you look like how it will look like what my design was I was going to think of. And yeah, this short little message of the more you litter, you drink bitter can help people to be aware of plastic. So yeah, I'll be showing you this process of making the prototype in the next video ahead.
Well, that was just a snippet of like how the project was done. Like you can see, like it's all started with a bit of research and then like planning out every stage, right? Just give me a moment. I'll just. Bhavya, have you reached? Have you reached home? Like, are you there? Simran, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we were speaking about the three mentors that we had taken right during our first cohort, like after the completion of the first cohort, and I'm really thankful to Ankita, Simran, and Bhavya like for spearheading the cohort 2 and guiding the new students like who have joined and who have completed their portfolio. All thanks to you all. So Bhavya, I think like she's still reaching home. So we would like to hear a bit from Simran. Like, what was your experience as a mentor?
So, hi everyone. I'm Simran Arora, graduate from Shillong and currently working as assistant designer at Pearl Global. And so, when I was at home, like this opportunity came, like cohort 1. it started, and it was really like amazing journey. Got to learn a lot from sir as well. Also, it was sustainable program, so I was totally into it. And after that, I got to know that we have been selected as mentors. So I was never been a mentor, but yeah, got to learn a lot from sir again. And there were so amazing students who have worked so far, like very nice. They came up with very good ideas. Sometimes I need to like push them a little bit, but it was overall amazing journey. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Simran, like for sharing your experience. Bhavya, are you there? Like, would you like to share a few words?
Yes, sir, I'm there. Yeah, I want to say that it has been such a good experience because last to last year when we were students and you were guiding us, so we didn't know that how much how much work it takes to guide students. But this time I realized that what actually mentors mean when they say ki we cannot spoon feed you and you have to come up with your own ideas. So it was a challenge in itself to because there was this urge to spoon feed people, but I kind of held myself back and let them come up with their own original ideas and how to go about it. So yeah, it was a good experience.
Nice, thank you so much. And Colonel Banerjee, are you there? Can you hear me? Colonel Banerjee, are you there?
Yeah. I'm there.
I'm very fortunate. I should tell you guys, we made like people like you, like who have completed this cohort. See, I've got two fantastic people here. One is Mr. Ajit Rao, and the other is Colonel Shaktiranjan Banerjee. So I must introduce these two wonderful people to you all, because Ajit Rao you already know, like Ajit sir, but Colonel Banerjee, you might be meeting him for the first time, because like Ajit Rao had given me the ABCs of design, Colonel Banerjee has given me the ABCs of the environmental science. So I've got two fantastic people like who have made me. So I thought of like inviting these two fantastic people, and we would like to hear from Colonel Banerjee first and then from Ajit sir. Colonel Banerjee, a few words from you.
Yeah, thank you, Vishwajit. It was wonderful coming in your program, and what you have brought out in this time is about how the beautification. It's not beautification. I would say the fashion. How fashion is also harming the environment, and how this environment has to be protected at all costs, and how we can adjust. Fashion has to go on, but then we have to adjust with each other. Fashion and as well as the environment should not be destroyed. You know that people have been using from ages about the skins of animals. Say, for example, tiger. Say, for example, leopard, or anything. Even that otter skins, they're used as even tents. So you know how many otter skins are required. So these sort of a thing, and many of you have explained it very well. I liked it, and I'm sure these WildRoots will go much more ahead, and you'll be doing a very good job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Yeah.
Could we hear
It's a
some
pleasure
more?
always. Huh? Why have you stopped my video?
Sir, I haven't stopped. Are you getting any message?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to attend these sessions, because I get to see such exciting creative minds, young minds. And that is my my job is that. My job is also to be aware of nature, but nature of a very different kind. We ourselves as nature. Even we are endangered in terms of, just as the environment is endangered, even we are getting polluted mentally. And it's such a pleasure watching the kind of work you're doing and the way you're expressing it. So this is another way of saving the environment. First is saving ourselves. So these kind of exercises are really, really powerful. And I mean, Jeet is the perfect person to bring it around together in the correct synchronization. I love the idea that the earlier students become the mentors here. So this is a furthering of their journey. So at the core of all this is eventually ourselves. So we need to understand ourselves and we need to take care of ourselves exactly as the way we become aware of our environment and we want to do something to preserve the environment. Similar journey is also within ourselves. So that's why it's very exciting for me to see this kind of project and the kind of work that you all are doing and the kind of exciting, confident voices and your creativity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We move ahead with the second video of the day. Like, just give me a moment. Is the screen visible? Is the screen visible? Can you see that?
It is.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Sangeeta Bharali, hailing from Assam, currently doing my bachelor's in design from National Institute of Fashion Technology, Shillong. As an aspiring designer, nature has always played an important role in inspiring me. And when I got to know about this design project, I wanted to work on a topic that's been currently going on, the COVID-19 pandemic. It has not only affected us humans, but also the water and land creatures. To control the spread of the virus, face mask is used as primary personal protective equipment. Most of these masks contain plastic or other derivatives of plastic. Therefore, this extensive usage of face masks generates million tons of plastic waste to the environment in a short span of time. Now the question that arises in my mind is, can we let face masks be another ecological disaster? The answer is obviously no. I couldn't help but notice the number of disposable face masks people are littering everywhere. Sadly, this is not only limited to land, it's also interfering the sea and ocean ecology since most of the trash ends up there. As a result, the life of underwater animals and seabirds are in danger. Now let's have a look at my mind map that studies the environmental challenges caused due to the face mask. Globally, 129 billion face masks are estimated to be used every month that contributes to the increase in landfill and medical waste. These PPE masks are made of plastics like polypropylene, polyurethane, polycarbonate and polystyrene, and the life of such mask is 400 years in nature, which means it will take a lot of time for it to decompose. There are various methods of disposal, but mostly people throw it away and then it ends up in seas by way of rainwater and winds. And as you could see in the previous pictures, it threatens the life of the sea creatures. Masks that end up in the sea bed and shore get stuck on the bird's feet, and it also circulates in the marine environment, and it threatens the ecosystem of the sea creature. Based on these studies, I have come up with 3 concepts, but before we go there, let me take you through my inspiration, mood board and my color palette. So my inspiration is installation by Leigh Dyer that is called a fish bone that depicts the fishes out of the sea and they have become skeletons because maybe they are disturbed by the ecological disbalance. And this inspiration made a great impact on my mind and inspired me to create something and do something for the sea creatures. And for my mood board, I have carefully curated pictures that metaphorically symbolizes the current situation of struggle between life and death and the slow decay of the nature and the creatures. And this is the color palette I plan to work around, and it's been extracted from my inspiration and my mood board. Now coming to the concept ideas, the first concept idea I had was of an installation made out of disposable masks to help create awareness. The idea was to collect the single-use masks from affected areas, shred them into small pieces and make a paste out of rich glue, paper and shredded mask that can be used to make an art installation, a metaphorical art piece that symbolizes and spread awareness about the current crisis. This will not only control the litter around the city but also beautify the places with art installation around the city. Now coming to the second concept idea, it was to create a biodegradable plant fiber based mask. Since masks are an inevitable part of the pandemic now, we cannot stop the use of masks, but we can definitely find a substitute. The idea is to use betel nut tree leaves and cut them into strips and weave them into wearable face masks. And it doesn't stop there. I also plan to design the packaging out of leftover leaves that is not only sustainable but also takes care of the zero waste development during the production. Last but not the least, my third concept was to create an abstract garment that portrays the crisis. I plan to create a garment reusing old fabrics that portrays the underwater world and the interference of masks that disturbs the ecology. Furthermore, I also wanted to do a concept-based photo shoot and circulate it on social media platforms to help create awareness in the form of art. After exploring the three concept ideas, I decided to go ahead with the biodegradable mask concept idea. So I decided to play with my inspiration's shape, and mostly I developed forms based on the arc of the fish and the structure of the installation. So these are the various forms I made. And this is how the sketch of my final design looks like, that has been developed from the form explorations. I come from a place that is closely connected to nature, and my backyard has a bounty full of betel nut trees. They shed their leaves every now and then, and I decided to explore the same. The leaves have a flexible luster, and I made thin strips out of them and weaved them together to make the mask. So this is how the final product looks like. I have also layered the mask with cotton lining inside, and to hold the mask in place, I have used narrow straps made of cotton fabric, which is a better substitute to thin elastics that usually get stuck in the feet and body parts of the sea creatures. And this is how it looks when one wears it. It's not only comfortable, but it also adds a style statement to your outfit. Last but not the least, I would like to talk about the packaging of the product. Generally, we come across sustainable products, but they are always wrapped in plastic wrappers. So instead of using plastic wrappers, I thought of using the leftover leaf to use it for the packaging of the product. These leaves for ages have been traditionally being used to pack things and can serve as a great substitute to plastic packaging.
Thanks a lot. And this is one aspect of the cohort 2 that like we have seen. Like we've had a diversity of ideas, and like people have explored like all kinds of materials. People have explored like different types of elements and different types of materials, and like how they can be used to create the concept ideas. Like whether these prototypes would actually go into actualization or not. Like that is something like which is a like discussion of the future, but definitely the ideas can work. Like it can become an initiation of a derivative which can come up later on. So I've been like, thanks to Ajit sir, like I've been looking at some of the jury presentations in some of the design institutes, and I was finding like something was wrong. Like something was wrong in their presentations. Like they were not following this pattern. Like they were not expressing themselves well. But I think the presentations that like you people have made, like those, like there are scopes of improvements in it, but they have already gone into the like international space where people are commenting on it, and there will be more opportunities of hearing from people. Like today we have Ajit sir, today we have Colonel Banerjee with us. Like over the next course of time, like we'll get to hear from people from different countries. What do they feel about your designs? Like how they can be developed. Right, this is something. So I'll move into the next video very quickly. Are you able to see the screen? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Aishwarya Bhata, studying fashion designing from the National Institute of Fashion Technology, Shillong in India. I have always been inspired by nature ever since I was growing up. Nature has always been my muse ever since I was a child. I'm sure as artists, all of us have been inspired by nature at some point in our lives. So when this opportunity came my way, I was more than excited to be able to do something, to be able to create something that would truly represent how I truly felt on the inside and resonated with the world in some or the other way. So for my area of research, the first topic I chose was the pollution in Antarctica. And Antarctica has always intrigued me. So when I did the research, this was the lesser known and talked about area. How the landfill and the pollution has affected places such as South Pole too, courtesy of the humans. And the second topic that I chose are the impacts of synthetic dyes. Being from the fashion design industry, I now realize how life-threatening it is for the humans. So I chose these two topics. Now, talking about pollution in Antarctica, climate change is the greatest long-term threat to the region. Some parts of Antarctica are experiencing significant ice retreat, including the collapse of ice shelves along the Antarctic Peninsula, while other areas are increasingly melting. Another topic is increased fishing pressure and illegal. As global fisheries become depleted, there is a growing interest to expand fishing throughout the region. In particular, krill fishing needs to be closely monitored and controlled to ensure whales, penguins, and other wildlife are protected. The third topic is marine pollution. Persistent organic pollutants, POPs, have been measured around Antarctica and detected in wildlife. Microplastics are emerging as a threat in the region. Increasing quantities of plastics are washing up on the Antarctic coastline and subantarctic islands. And the fourth topic is the invasive species. Many Antarctic species have evolved in isolation from the rest of the world. Consequently, they have developed no means of defending themselves from the invasive species carried aboard ships. WWF catalyzed and helped fund the removal of rabbits from Macquarie Island and is now helping to remove mice from the Antipodes Island. It's high time we open our eyes and look at these threats, from global warming to invasive species to marine pollution, how it'll all eventually get back to us and affect us in ways unimaginable. Now, talking about the impacts of synthetic dyes, the textile dyes significantly compromise the aesthetic quality of the water bodies, increase biochemical and chemical oxygen demand, BOD and COD, impair photosynthesis, inhibit plant growth, enter the food chain, provide recalcitrance and bioaccumulation, and may promote toxicity, mutagenicity, and carcinogenicity. These cause adverse effects on our health and impose a great threat on all the workers working in these industries with these synthetic dyes. Now, talking about the flowchart that I made of the pollution in Antarctica and how it is impacting and threatening to the environment and the human health, from airborne pollution, the ozone layer depletion affecting the marine life, everyday pollution, landfills, discarded equipments, fish nets, plastic wastes and hooks, from the oil spills, marine litter and flatosm, fur seals and penguins entangled to the fish nets and other litter causing threat to their life, native species being traded, illegal and legal fishing, invasive species, climate change, and so many other different threats it's causing to the environment and the human health. After a lot of brainstorming, I came up with a flow chart of all the ways these chemical and synthetic dyes are impacting our lives, causing threat to human, which is the primary cause for cancer to the workers, polluting the waterways, causing skin conditioning, affecting the respiratory tract, diminishing photosynthesis, inhibiting the growth of aquatic biota, affecting the food chain, and many such harmful effects it has on our health that I haven't even taken account of. But these are the few that came in my mind that I decided to put on this flowchart and point it out. Now, talking about the concept ideas, I decided to divide my concept ideas into 3 genres: the land, the air, and the water. The awareness of how humans are adversely impacting the Antarctic and causing landfills. And then talking about air, how humans are impacting the Antarctic and polluting the air, causing the ozone layer depletion. And when I come to water, of course, how the dyes are impacting the waterways and the human health. So for my inspiration, I decided to take these artworks, little pieces of frames, weaves, and embroideries by an artist called Ana Teresa Barbosa, and how truly she encapsulates what I'm trying to depict. That when you see these tiny frames, you see how beautifully they are embroidered, but the extended truth, when you look at these frames, there are weaves falling out of it, being a metaphor for how things truly are, and how on the surface our planet truly seems to be beautiful, but deep down the extended truth is that we are the ones causing it to lose its beauty, and it eventually has a boomerang effect on our lives. And now for my color palette, these are the colors that I derived from my inspiration. Now, talking about my mood board, I wanted to depict a mood of how the world is truly dying and how all of us, we are strangled to masks and difficulty breathing, and how all of this is eventually causing us to lose sight of what truly means to us, of how we're truly running away from the reality and slipping away into this alternate reality that should not have been in the first place. So for my theme board, the story that I'm trying to weave is how I truly believe in the unfinished, finished work. And that's the vibe that I'm going for. For my collection, that was the vibe that I have in mind. That was the vibe that I wanted to create, of how there is so much beauty in the finished and unfinished, taking notes from my inspiration, leaving threads unweaved, and capturing the true essence of art, and having a feel of maximalism. Now, coming to my form exploration, I decided to have fun with it, and decided to explore all the forms of my inspiration, the abstract forms and figures, the flow it had, and how how the things were falling out of it. Keeping things in mind, I decided to create a few forms, and this is what I came up with. These are the few elements that I decided to finally go ahead with. Now, after exploring my forms, these are the 3 designs that I came up with. This is my final collection. The collection I'm trying to depict here, it truly encapsulates the finished, unfinished vibe that I was going for. Now for my first garment, I have a bralette and a skirt. The skirt is made out of a waterproof material, and the bralette is made out of organza, which has been manipulated into ruffles, and how it represents, these ruffles represent the marine, and how the black that you see here, the black shading, represents the pollution getting into the marine life, and how the fabric truly represents the flow of the water, the ocean, and the waves. Now, coming to my second piece here, you see how this blouse, this bodysuit has an off-shoulder piece which has been made by fabric manipulation, again representing the glaciers and how the land pollution is impacting the ice formation there, and all of it is eventually melting off. The weaving of the wires represent the fishnets of the land and how they pollute the land. The forms have come from the formations of the glaciers. And now coming on to my third piece, these truly depict how the different tones and the different shades and hues of chemical dyes are seeping into our ecosystem and into our system, done through layering of the textiles as a medium of showing how these chemicals go deep into the system and affect us in ways unimaginable. The hem of my dress depicts how all of it is slipping away from us each day, taking these forms from my inspiration to make a canvas of a dress. Now, taking you through the process and behind the scenes of creating this bralette. Now, first I had draped this foundation shell, as you see on your left, after which I made these ruffles out of organza. After sewing them all, I then layered it onto the dummy and draped it onto the dummy, onto the bralette, after which they were hand sewn onto the bustier. After which I decided to spray on, hand painted to be precise, sprayed these black acrylic dyes onto the organza fabric after creating these ruffles to depict how our marine, the blue organza standing for the marine, and how all of it is getting polluted, this black, as all of this landfill and marine pollution is entering into our system, and all of it is affecting us, the black representing that. So I created these black acrylic dyes and sprayed it on, as you see this video that I'm trying to depict. So for my final reveal, this is what the garment looked like. It had a beige shell, which was absolutely secured. After which I then draped on these ruffles and sewed it on, and this is what it looks like for the final reveal on the dummy. After which I then decided to wear it myself since I had so much fun making it. This is what it looked like on me.
That was yet another very different depiction and presentation of a design idea. So as you can see, like again, we have got a lot of diversity and the kind of, and by looking at this presentation, like I got a comment from the International Union of Conservation of Nature. Like it seemed that the participants were enjoying what they were doing. So that is the most important factor out of it. Like one thing is inspiration. Like you cannot like demoralize people like when they are coming up with some designs. So we'll follow that like till the end of time. Like we'll go into the next video. Ankita, are you there? Are you still there, or have you left? So Ankita had to leave because she has got some class. Ankita is now in Canada, like doing her master's in design. So she was joining us all the way from Canada. So I'll move on to the next video. Is the screen visible? Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Esha Saha. I am currently pursuing Bachelor's in Fashion Designing from the Assam Royal Global University. Along the way, us humans have forgotten that we are interdependent and interwoven with nature and are part of nature. Let's face it, when a piece of trash floats away in the wind or falls into a storm drain, we don't give it much thought. Unfortunately, all of those pieces of rubbish, along with tons more dropped by ships, are accumulating in our oceans, killing wildlife and ecosystem and disrupting entire ecosystem. I wanted to raise attention to this issue as an aspiring design student. So my area of research is the invasion of plastic in marine life. Moving on to my mind map, which focuses on the impact of plastic on marine life, land based activities account for more than 80% of marine pollution. Our waterways are tainted by oil spills, sewage, fertilizers, and harmful chemicals, but so is plastic waste, which decomposes very slowly. Chemical and garbage pollution are the two main types of marine pollution, and most affected species are seals and sea lions, sea turtles, whales and dolphin, fish. And how they are harmed? They eat it, they get caught in it, or they get sick because of it. Plastic pollution occurred so rapidly that animals were unable to adjust their behavior around this new material. This is my mood board highlighting what goes in the ocean goes in you. Plastic has already entered the food chain. Animals carry microplastic in their bodies. When they are themselves eaten, those microplastics are also ingested. This process is called trophic transfer of microplastics. Since one animal eats another, microplastics move through the food chain and come back to us. Staying hydrated is essential, using single use plastic is not. During the COVID 19 pandemic, plastic goods were crucial in keeping people safe, but it also increased the amount of plastic in ocean. The goal was to create a metal bottle that is reusable, eco-friendly and long-lasting. These are a very rough sketches I have used to come up with for my final bottle design. So this is the final design. The bottle has been designed in such a way that it is easy to drink water, and it will also include a sanitizer container, making it ideal for reusing and refilling on the go. Sustainable material like steel has been chosen. I have also incorporated the Pantone shade of Ice Palace to give it more classic look. Plastic is not biodegradable. Instead, it degrades into ever smaller fragments. Microplastics have been discovered all over the world, even in the stomachs of the fish we eat, and even in the salt we use to season our food. Fish may mistake the aroma of microplastics for a pleasant meal and seek them out. Animals' digestive tracts may become clogged with plastic, causing them to feel full and consume less than they need to survive. Sadly, many animals mistake little particles of plastic for food. These materials do not decompose and can be fatal to the animal who eats them. This is my inspiration board, a compilation of images showing plastic that have been found in marine animals' body. These are the sketches that I've used to come up with for my final design. Some snapshots of me working on the design. The shape of the turtle has been taken as the inspiration for the silhouette of the bag. The graphic on the bag that depicts the texture of the turtle, and in the middle of the bag depicts plastic inside marine animals' food. That is plastic. The bag color has been chosen from the green and blue turtles. I have also incorporated these Pantone shades of blue and green. The idea behind this product was to create a bag that offers society a style that is reflective of animals' damage, which we cause, and is rich in a modern aesthetic. It will not only be functional in everyday use and transportation of purchase, but will also be easy to clean, allowing them to be reused many times while remaining clean, in perfect condition. Sustainable material like cotton or canvas has been chosen as the fabric for the bag. What if our friends and family were to become victims of plastic pollution? Animals can become entangled and suffer injuries or even die as a result. For examples, in turtles, a common injury is a broken fin. Such wounds can cause effects beyond pain and infection. They can inhibit movement, possibly reduce the ability to escape predators. Even if entanglement isn't directly detrimental, it can still affect an animal's survival. The consequences of entanglement can have an impact on an animal's reproductive ability. Animals that arrive late may have difficulty feeding, breeding, and eventually sustaining their lineage since migration is time sensitive. This is my inspiration board, a compilation of images showing marine animals' body getting stuck in plastic. These are the sketches that I've used to come up with for my final design. Firstly, drawing the silhouette of the marine animal, and then exploring it in earring style. One set of the design shows the animal getting stuck in plastic, and one set of design shows animal getting entangled in a plastic straw. The idea behind this product is to design an accessory that speaks for itself while also raising awareness about the issues. The accessory have a pop-in color which has been chosen from the bright colors of plastic. Sustainable material like clay has been chosen. Some snapshots of making process. I have used the baking process for the tightening of the clay, and then I've added the earring hook and then apple net wrap for the finishing look. Some snapshots of an individual wearing the actual product. My internship at the WildRoots India has significantly improved my knowledge of the condition of the environment and left me with the knowledge that will be useful throughout my life. Throughout my internship experience, I was able to develop and foster a truly positive and compassionate learning environment, all through the support and mentorship of my cooperating mentor. It was a great learning experience. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And I'll very quickly move on to the next video. Just give me a moment.
Hello all, I am Nancy Yamaputia and I am from Patong, West Bengal, currently pursuing my bachelor's in fashion design from National Institute of Fashion Technology, Kannur, Kerala. While I grew up in the lab of the hills, I never really realized the extent of the ongoing problems around me. I had to really sit back and educate myself on what it takes and gives to hopefully conserve of what is left. Hence, I take this opportunity to talk about the River Teesta, the wine that binds us all. River Teesta, the source of life, death, and livelihood. The concept of divine spirituality that nature, but water in particular, possesses an ability to sustain all life is something which is celebrated across many indigenous cultures. We believe that everything comes from the water and goes back to it. Water has its own emotions to swim through. The River Teesta originates from an altitude of 5,330 meters from Solamu Lake of North Sikkim. The ecosystem and the cultural significance of the river has been an active spot for dispute between the indigenous Rong and the NHPC. The government wants to capitalize on the 540 megawatts hydropower project. However, the river in the Zangbu area is the last free-flowing stretch of water. Many indigenous tribes also believe that the Teesta River is the path to salvation in the afterlife and is very sacred. They worship the mountains, the rivers, and protect the land. Environmentalists also have expressed concerns over the fact that the area surrounding the river has unstable grounds due to the ever-changing topography, as the Himalayas are some of the youngest mountains. It may also hinder irrigation plans and threaten bird species that live close to the river. Social development should never be achieved at the expense of Mother Nature and her harm. Playing around the concept of all comes back to the water, this concept art hopes to portray the current situation at hand of mass construction of dams, waste dumping, and fragile ecosystem. The inspiration behind this concept is the massive hindrance and harm man-made construction has inflicted upon Teesta. The board contains visuals of such elements. Ever since the construction, there has been chaos all around. This mood board also evokes the feeling of chaos that has ensued due to the construction and the lives that have been affected by them. This mind map contains keywords which remind me of the problems that River Teesta faces every day, such as direct threat to lives and livelihood, threat to flora and fauna, and which ensues a fragile ecosystem, unstable grounds, muddy water, flash floods, and huge disasters. These are some of the very rough sketches and explorations done keeping in mind the concept which I have been working on, such as the flowiness of water which can be translated into silhouette, the unpredictable flow of the water, rearranging the shape of the water droplets, and also exploring the texture of the sand underneath the river. Hence, all of the explorations done have led me to choose this design, wherein the blue of the fabric looks like the deep rivers with cowl neck. The white tulle fabric represents the foamy waters on the shores. The yellow underskirt, which is naturally dyed with turmeric, represent the earth. The color swatches on the board all come together as one. The second concept revolves around the fish population of Teesta. Due to many factors, there has been a sharp decline in the population, which naturally hurts the ecosystem inside the river. The river Teesta has always been home to numerous species of fishes native to the area. However, over the years, several factors such as overfishing, changes in the climatic conditions, and constructions of the hydroelectric projects have had a significant impact upon the fish population, so much so that many common local fishes are a rare find. This is one of the most alarming problems going on in the river, since fishes are important for a healthy, balanced aquatic environment. Here are some of the common fishes of Teesta. The katle fish, which is also the state fish for Sikkim, the bager, predominantly found in Bangladesh, the Nawa snow trout, Indian longfin eel, and buduna. This mind map has keywords such as threat to biodiversity. People living on the banks have to relocate during the monsoon season due to the rise in the water level, the effect on all of us, the local fisheries which cannot hold up the demand, hence a lot of import happens, the overall threat to the environment in and around Teesta. Indigenous tribes have always had clever hacks and techniques regarding life. Fishing techniques in the olden days involved several devices made out of sustainable materials. One such device, known as the sewer, comprises of a basket-like device woven out of cane with a mechanism to trap the fish inside and prevent it from letting loose again. This mood board contains visuals which are supposed to represent the beauty of the fishes that we take for granted every day. Here are some explorations done keeping in mind this concept, where the fishes and their scales could represent the motion of the river. The fish tail shape and texture could also be used, where different components of the fish have lovely elements which can all come together to create a beautiful design. These are some concept arts which contains visuals and graphic texts such as town where the fishes live, the life goes on, water is life, etc., which all give off the vibe and what is trying to be portrayed with this concept. All of the explorations have led me to this design, wherein the visuals which represent and support the concept of the fish population, along with the message behind this concept to be loud and clear and accessible when it comes to spreading the word, and also includes the color swatches in this board, all come together as one to justify this concept. Over the years, mankind has grown extremely comfortable with the idea of dumping waste onto the shores of water bodies, while very conveniently ignoring or forgetting the fact that the same water bodies sustain all lives. The river banks have places throughout the stretch where massive dumping areas have been constructed. While segregation of waste and disposal is something being managed by the government and the volunteers, it also stands as an individual's business duty to ensure and be aware of the waste and to it after. This mind map has keywords where explorations of the harmful nature of the issue, such as if neglected, the waste will slowly ruin the entire riverbed, the dumping ground which is located right next to a river and a small village, so it ruins the place for all, and what actually happens to the garbage after the disposal, and also the level of recycling that goes on. Although the government does the job of managing the waste generated by the average citizen, upcycling of waste to create something new not only satisfies the self but also contributes towards a cleaner and greener future. This concept revolves around upcycling items readily available at home and also to eliminate any waste while pattern drafting and construction. Patchwork, quilting techniques, embroidery, etc. Basically, any steps which will eliminate waste are the way to go. Here are some of the explorations done for this concept. All of the explorations done above lead to this design, wherein there is gradation in color which represent the waves of the river and the embellishments represent the waste. All of these can be done with the materials readily available at home. This board also contains color swatches, and all of these together create this design which supports the third concept. Final designs. It was a work in progress. Prototype constructed out of the 3 finalized designs. Thank you.
Wonderful, Lanzi, and thanks for bringing in a bit of biogeography and a bit of demography into it as well. Because, and as we could see from some of the sample portfolios which the students have submitted, like we've explored almost everything, like we from fishes to microplastic. So in fact, every aspect of the environment has been taken into account, right? So the rest of the videos and also these videos which I'm playing right now, like those will be uploaded on our website and will be available for everyone to see. I've already sent it to the IUCN, and I'll just show you something like from 2020. We are actually a part of a new global movement which IUCN have started, like which is called Nature for All. Like, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
These are some of the students who are posing with the official Nature for All logo, because IUCN have come up with this Nature for All, hashtag Nature for All. Like this is a direct program that inspires the youth worldwide. And like we are very fortunate that IUCN Nature for All had sent us their guidelines and the learning principles like to be applied for the Indian schools and colleges. So we are doing it from 2020. These are just snippets of, and this is the current and the previous cohort. Like these photographs will be uploaded on our website, because currently our webmaster is a bit down because he was down with COVID twice. So he's taking a bit of rest. Any comments, sir? Ajit sir, any comments?
Yeah, it's difficult to comment, but I'm totally impressed by the level of work on all fronts, not only the research and even the final products, like you said, such varied kinds of outputs, bringing in crafts, bringing in design, bringing in color, paint, and material and all that. I found it quite, there's a lot of variety in what each one has done, but at the same time, there is the level of integrity put into each work is of a very high caliber. You mentioned that earlier jury where you were, meaning these people, meaning what we saw today is really like what you said, you can call it international standards. And I love the way each one presented it very confidently and very, meaning I was envying, I wish I could talk like that. So how does it come about, these things? Because there is, the purpose is something higher than you. like what one is looking at. So when it is higher than you, it awakens something deeper within you. Like what I mentioned earlier, this is also about conserving ourselves as human beings. And we are made out of different aspects within us. And we have a physical self, we have our energy self, we have an emotional self, we have an intellectual self, and we have a creative self. So when one works on projects like this, there is a overall integration happening within us. And for me, what was beautiful about all these presentations were I could see it in each of the presentations. So congratulations to Jeet and to the mentors and the students. So it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, it was a very, can you all hear me?
Yes,
Am I heard?
Yes, you're audible.
It was a very well presentations. I think the participants, they have worked quite hard and they have come out with very, very good new ideas. How you protect our environment, how you design things with keeping in environment in mind and not to pollute, and how we can stop pollution. I think these all were new ideas, many good ideas, and I'm sure this will carry a long way. And I must congratulate Vishwajit and all the participants. They have done excellently well, and I'm quite impressed with it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. And I would request all of you to just put your cameras on. And if Anulekha, Oindri, like anyone, like could you just help me out in taking a screenshot? Because currently that facility is not available on my laptop. I would request all of you to just keep your cameras on for some time, and very quickly you can take a screenshot. Anulekha, can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Are you from your laptop?
Yes, I'm doing. Yes, sir. Yeah, actually, Aishwarya and Bhavya, they are on the screen, but their camera is not on.
Aishwarya and Bhavya, Oindri, can you please, even Lekhna, can you please put your cameras on? Thank you. Aishwarya, can you hear me? Aishwarya, Bhavya, Sangeeta, please keep your cameras on. We are taking a screenshot of the session and then I'll move on to the official certificates. Bhavya, can you hear me? Bhavya, Aishwarya, can you hear me? Can you take a few screenshots, Anulekha?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Aishwarya is there. Bhavya, can you hear me? Could you please put your camera on for some time? Are you taking the shot? Just like let us know, like before you're taking a shot.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm taking it in one. Okay, now.
Taken?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'll quickly like move on to the certificates. So there are 13 students who have officially completed the cohort 2. And I've already sent you the commendation letters. So there are 2 things that you're getting from WildRoots as a deliverable. You're getting a commendation letter with the signature of the executive committees and all, the president, vice president. And you're getting the certificate that is signed by the chair of IUCN CEC. So I'll just go to the certificate now. So this is how your commendation certificate looks like. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Is it visible? Okay, so congratulations. So I think Aishwarya, your certificate goes first. I'll just scroll through it, but I'll just read through what's written in the certificate. This is to certify and commend that Aishwarya had participated in the short internship program fashion design for environmental awareness, and has been able to show tenacity and perseverance in the activities related to nature-based design, understanding of global climate problems and mitigation measures. She has also displayed appreciable research and design skills and dedication in her work related to design and delivery of presentations. We at WildRoots India would like to wish her the very best for her future career and provide her with the necessary support and guidance. If she takes up any field related to research-oriented design connected with environmental science and conservation. This certificate also makes her eligible to apply and join WildRoots India as an executive member or intern to any one of our future action research projects and programs from year 2022. Shwari, are you there? Can you see the certificate?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I can see it.
So it has been signed by the Vice President, the Chair of IUCN-CEC, and myself. So we've given all our patrons and members, these logos are there. Branding is very important when someone is particularly sponsoring you and giving you some grants. So they want themselves to be visible everywhere.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. And next is Anita. Anita, are you there? Are you there with us? I don't think Anita is here. Esha, are you there? Can you see the certificate?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. And I think Esha is not from NIFT. She's from the Royal Global University in Guwahati. I think, in fact, she's the only one from Royal Global University. And at some point of time, like, we'll go and meet you, like in your institute, when your college is open. Is your college open now?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Since you're there in Guwahati, you can also come and pay us a visit in our office, right? Please do come over.
Yeah, sure, sir.
One day, right? Like, our office looks like a rainforest, right? Jhansi is not here. Kankana, are you there? Kankana is also not here. Lekhna, are you there? Lekhna, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Have you received the commendation letter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And there were some issues with the spellings of the names. So please go through your letter and certificate very carefully. If there are any discrepancies, please let me know. We'll correct and send it back. And these are also going to your individual addresses that you have sent, right? Along with a very special gift. So we've already sent it by post. So you'll get it within 1 week. Lanzi, thank you so much. And congratulations once more.
Thank you, sir.
Nandini, are you there? Nikita, are you there? Remy is here, right? Remy, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And Samyukta, congratulations. We hope your spelling is correct.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Sangeeta is here. Sangeeta, congratulations. There has been some nice comments in your portfolio of videos, like people have commented. I'll share some comments which have come from the University of Oxford also, right, to all of you, because we have shared this program with the Conservation Optimism team from Oxford University, and they are also going to publish it on their website, the Conservation Optimism group from Oxford University. This project is also going to be visible over there. So whenever you're giving someone your CV, you can just quote these links from where they can see the project getting officially published by Conservation Optimism. Tanushri, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And I hope like we got your name correct.
Yes, sir, it's correct.
Okay. So thank you so much for joining this program. And we would like to continue with the wonderful connection that we've made. So this is only the beginning that we are having, because we are going ahead with some real life design programs, because people have started approaching us to give them some solutions regarding sustainable designs. So that is something which is a next step, and we'll be working towards creating those opportunities from the students, right? Any last words, anyone? Anyone would like to share anything before we end the program? I'll share the certificates as PDF or JPEG in your WhatsApp groups. And we've already couriered it to your respective addresses. I hope you have got your addresses correct. You have shared it. And just one thing, like there are some people like who haven't sent us your profile photograph and your short bio for our website. Please send it to me as soon as possible. It has to be a nice profile photograph along with some information. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we've already sent you the certificates by courier, and thanks to Ajit sir and Connie Banerjee to join us this day, because like your presence matters a lot, because after all, like we are moving on the footsteps and the stepping stones which you have laid for us long time back. And I think we are doing the same for these young students. Any last words, anyone?
It was a pleasure. Thank you. And all the best to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Any last words? Anyone would like to share anything before we end the session? We'll be in touch around 10th of February, 8th, 9th or 10th of February, because Sean would like to, chair of IUCN CEC would like to meet you all, because he has got some comments to make on this project. And I'll send you the link by 7th, 8th or 9th. Like it has not been finalized. Like he said, like he's just going to give me his date and we'll meet again just to meet Sean. He's a wonderful person and very, very encouraging. Right. Thank you so much. Right.
Yeah.
And Esha, please drop by like whenever you can. Just let me know.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay. Bye then. Good night, all of you, and take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.